We'll hit mute just so there's no background noise.
Hello, this is Willow Nightingale, and you're watching the 3 Count Podcast. Or listening to. Hit
him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, know we all out. On the top row, crowd already know how I fly him to the floor. And your boy real
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don, Chaz Evans, and you're checking out the 3 Count Podcast. Let me introduce to you your debate panelists. Introducing first, he is that way. Introducing first, he is the Red Dog of Red Dogs. He's the landlord of the Dog Pound. He's the man that runs this show because, quite frankly, I really don't do anything but talk. All right. He is the Red Dog, Cliff Miller.
Hey, so it is the Air Force veteran intel specialist, the one you call on when you need to get the job done, the champion of chit chat, and the Donnie Wahlberg of the 3 Count Podcast. That's right, your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. What up? And Chaz, I just want to let you know you're frozen, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you totally frozen.
That's crazy. Because
Totally frozen.
I totally see I see y'all.
Yep, we looking at you, and you just like.
Wow.
Yep, pretty much straight stone face.
That's crazy.
Like right before we go live, like you just froze.
Oh. I'm trying to fix it. Anyway, I'll keep going. So, introducing next, he is the Dark Lord himself. He is the man. He was there for the first ever wrestling match. Okay, like he was there. He saw it happen, and he's 50 million years old. Okay, he's seen every wrestling match recorded history. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dark Lord, Damien.
Goddamn right I was. Greatest match ever. I don't know what happened to wrestling.
Are we back? Am I still frozen?
Yeah, you're still frozen.
Yeah, you're still frozen, my dude.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But no. See, that's when wrestling was really good, though, back in the day.
Ah, interesting. All right.
It died.
Yeah.
Still frozen?
Is this still frozen?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
still
great.
frozen, my dude.
Oh, that's amazing. That is
I guess you're
amazing.
frozen?
I guess so. I guess I'm frozen for the day.
All right, cool. I mean, at least it's not a bad frozen pit, though. It could be bad.
Right. At least I can leave that instead of putting my little profile picture up there. All righty. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3 Count Podcast debate show, where we talk about all the wrestling news topics and we argue about it. Okay. And we make fun of each other while we argue with each other about it. So, with that being said, if you've not already done so, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, the 3 Count Podcast, or wherever you're checking this out at, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitch, wherever you're checking this out, make sure you click that like button. Follow us on all of our social media platforms, whether it's Twitter and Instagram, TikTok, everything. We're on it. Make sure you follow us there. Also, if you are a podcast listener, make sure you give us a 5-star frog splash review on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast so that you never miss an episode. Buy a shirt. Okay, we got merch, so buy a shirt, please. Thank you. Like Pro Wrestling Tees.
If you don't, I'm coming after you.
That's factual, and because in the next couple of weeks, we will be adding What a Maneuver to our distributor of shirts. So you can get it What a Maneuver. You can wait then, but hey, might as well get one now because these will become limited time edition shirts. So buy a shirt. let's get right down to business, y'all. Match of the week. Match of the week. What is your match of the week, Cliff?
So I'm gonna have to go with Darby Allin and the Butcher, on Rampage.
Okay. Damien,
I
what you got?
plead the fifth.
Ah, ha, 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 ha.
It's the fifth again, buddy.
Again.
Yep, I have to. God damn it. That's how you know wrestling's getting horrible.
Was it a certain steel cage match? Can you say that at least?
Nope, I ain't gonna tell you. We're gonna leave that one alone.
I think it was a steel cage match. Was his match of the week? Because if it was, that would be the same as mine. Because my match of the week definitely goes to Britt and Thunder Rosa. Like, bruh, they killed it. Steel cage match. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. So that is my match of the week.
I think it's awesome that your match of the week is Frozen.
I guess the title of this show will be the one where Chaz is frozen.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to be that one. the one where Chaz is frozen.
That's amazing. Like I could definitely, I'm just gonna chillax, put my feet up. All right, let's get to our first debate topic. So Jeff Hardy finally has speaking on the matter of him leaving WWE. He goes into detail talking about how he's at a live event. He just felt like he was done. He didn't feel like he belonged there, and he left. He dipped. So is Jeff Hardy justified in walking out the way he did? We'll start with you, Cliff, then me, then Damien. You'll be last.
All right,
Yeah, I mean, listening to Jeff talk about like the things that he was kind of like going through, and then he just didn't feel like he was there. He was just kind of like non-existent, and just kind of sporadically used, especially when he was talking about being on a pay-per-view, and he just wasn't like, he's like, why am I even here? Like, what am I even doing? Not just like on the pay-per-view or like on the shows, but just why am I here in general at WWE? Yeah, I feel like he definitely was in the right to leave and wanted to get out. You know what I mean? We know some other people who just left WWE or asked for their request to leave because they were just unhappy. And, at the end of the day, if you're not feeling appreciated at your job, like, bounce. Go somewhere else. Go where you feel like you're going to be appreciated. That's what we talk about all the time on this show. We talk about it with, just in life. So, yeah, I feel like Jeff was in his right. Like, he didn't feel like he was being appreciated at his job anymore. And he was like, you know what? I'm out, and bounced.
So I think so. I don't disagree with Jeff, taking his ball and go home, because that's the phrase wrestling fans have coined when this happens. I think in the middle of a match is a little much. I think at the end of the day, you still have to have some type of professionalism. They're in the middle of a match and you just walk out. I think that's a little much, because you're still performing for these fans. Like, whether or not the backstage politics, whether contract negotiations and all that can be handled backstage. Like, he didn't have to leave on the match. That's the only thing I have. Is this not in the middle of the match?
He tagged out. He was done with the match, and then he just went into the crowd and celebrated with the people. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all.
All right, Damien, what you got?
Well, okay, so I get why he took his ball and went home. At the same time, though, like you could have waited till the match was over. Like, seriously, at the end of the day, you could have just sat on the outside and waited till the match was over. Like, doing something like that doesn't give you good rapport with your boss or former boss, or whatever the case may be. Like to be honest with you, it was one of those situations where it was like, he might as well just keep it moving, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, like, that's like an epic way of quitting. Like, that's almost the equivalent of like jumping up on the counter at your job and saying, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. you're right. Fuck you. I'm out. Like, I mean, I wouldn't hire him back. I just put it like that. I mean, I wouldn't have hired him in the first place.
Listen, it's Jeff Hardy. WWE is always going to bring him back because they know they can make money off of him and the Hardy Boy name. So
Oh yeah,
I think he knew he was at a level where he was like, you know what? Even if I left now, they're going to bring me back. And that's why it was so funny when you saw someone like John Laurinaitis was like, hey, when it was alleged that they were going to give him like a Hall of Fame spot and they wanted him to come back after they made him drug test. And what they find out in the drug test, he was clean. So I was like, you know what? It's kind of an epic way to just say fuck off. And I was all about it.
yeah. I mean, the Hall of Fame thing was egregious. I think on WWE's and like, I agree with Jeff. It didn't feel right. He said it didn't feel right. He should have been,
Oh no, he definitely should have turned that down at the end
Yeah.
of the day because it's the Hardy Boys. Like
that
that's
made
what
Jeff Hardy.
made,
Like,
yeah.
like he wouldn't be Jeff Hardy if it wasn't for, but that tag run of the Hardys. Like if Jeff in himself does deserve to go in by himself. I absolutely don't get it.
Oh well, yeah. If you're gonna pick one,
if we want to debate that, like I actually do, like he should. But I think the Hardys induction should be before that. I think that's the Hardy brothers' career was more legendary in a sense than just Jeff's career.
but Jeff had the better career though.
Do you?
Oh man,
I kind of have to disagree with you on that one. If you really think about it, look at Jeff's track record compared to Matt's. Like
I never said
record.
Matt Hardy was Hall of Fame caliber either, though.
Like the only reason why Matt should go into the Hall of Fame is because of his brother. Yeah, we gonna keep it a step.
So I think that you could make an argument for Jeff Hardy as a singles competitor going in more than like you could make the argument. Obviously, the Hardy Boys are going into Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame. There's no question about it. I think that if you were to say Jeff was going in solo, you could argue like he had a great solos run. Like
He did.
I mean, for goodness sakes, like the dude is a Grand Slam champion at WWE.
That's
So I mean, it's like it's not to say like the TLC matches, all the Team Extreme stuff, like all the legendary runs that they went on were great. But Jeff Hardy by himself had a pretty awesome solo career as well. Like not just in WWE either. I mean, we could talk about at Impact, but
I was gonna say when
champion.
when you add Impact, I think that's a whole nother story. Because if you add Impact into that, you can definitely make the case for Matt Hardy then.
Yeah,
because this is Matt didn't get a fair shake as far as in WWE like his brother did, but everywhere else Matt went, Matt was a star.
He did all right.
Like Matt was running Impact for a good couple years. When he went over to Impact, he was like top dollar over there. And then even on his stuff at ROH when they were on the Indies, and then now look at him AEW. Like Matt was a star outside of the E.
Well, Jeff Hardy, and I know a lot of people are gonna get like pretty pissy about this, but Jeff Hardy was Shawn Michaels of like the Attitude and Aggression era. Like, let's be real. Like, he was on this awesome tag team, this legendary tag team. They split, and he became a star on his own in WWE. While Matt went over to Impact and TNA, and just reinvented himself, and then had this incredible run. Like, yeah, I can agree with that, but I mean, I don't want to put it out there like that. Jeff couldn't get into the WWE Hall of Fame on his own merits, let alone on the merits of the Hardy Boys.
I don't like your Jeff Hardy and Shawn Michaels comparison.
You don't have to, but at the end of the day,
that's not. I get I see what you're trying to say, though. I get what you're trying. I get it. I just don't. Yeah.
Can you really say that it's not wrong? I think you're just mad because it's like Mr. WrestleMania being compared to Jeff Hardy.
I think no, it's not even that. I think it's the Rockers compared to the Hardys. I don't. I think
I mean, that's you know, someone. Yo, that's not even fair. That's not even fair.
No,
Hold
it's
on.
that's okay. We're gonna move on. Temp check. It's time for temp.
not.
We're gonna move on.
Wow, we left that one real fast, didn't we?
I listen after seeing that. Yes,
In the words of Lizzo, truth hurts.
there it is. There it is. All right, temp check. Yeah, temp check. Those who don't know what temp check is where we tell you our hottest and or coldest wrestlers going into this week. A lot of wrestling happened this week. Crockett Cup happened this weekend. So let's see here. Damien, temp check.
Hottest wrestler as always is there you go.
Oh wow, I didn't know you had that hat. That's a nice hat.
Yes.
I like that.
Okay.
My tribal chief. Your tribal chief. Roman
Are you-
Reigns.
You're doing my that's my shtick. Wait a minute.
I know I stole it. And you're gonna like it. Also, I guess to keep spirits alive, my coldest wrestler is Sean Spears.
You just
I'll
steal
do
my
that
whole- you get- wow.
Hey, you let me go first. That's what you get. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You dropped the ball. You be all right.
Red Dog. Temp check, and I gotta change my coldest wrestler.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say
I never have to
mine-
think of one because I'm always gonna say Sean Spears.
I'm gonna be honest. I think my hottest wrestler of the week is Thunder Rosa. I mean, let's be real. There's no secret into what happened on Dynamite. That shit was awesome. My coldest wrestler of the week. I don't care what I got to say. Cody. That's it. All that needs to be said. I don't care if he re-signed with the E. I don't care if it was done 2 weeks ago. Cody.
All right, my coldest wrestler going into this week, it's gotta be. I don't have anybody, so I'm going with Sean Spears because I can't think of no one off the dome. So Sean Spears. So thanks, Damien. And
Anytime, pal. Anytime.
my hottest wrestler of the week actually is what's called is you, Cliff. Yeah, you're my hottest wrestler going into this week. I know, crazy. Yeah, I finally watched back the match. I watched the match again with CJ, and this little bubble in of our little indie circle in the Mid Atlantic. You've been getting a lot of high praises the past couple weeks. So might as well give you a high praise over here because like you putting in work, brother, and I'm loving what you're doing. So yeah, my hottest wrestler going in the week is you. So
Nice.
there.
I
You gotta-
appreciate that.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, that's wild.
Because you need to, yeah. Everybody's giving you your flowers. Now I'm giving you your flowers.
Yeah, I
Can't nobody
appreciate
outdo me. You're my best friend, damn it.
it. Yo,
Oh.
actually, here's a good hottest wrestler of the week.
My hottest is the Don making new friend in England. Let's talk about that. I always have to tell people about my wonderful time in SCWA. Before we get into our next debate topic. Let's talk about it real quick. So I went back to SCWA. Had a nice singles match against Allard Tard. He actually got in the ring this time. He didn't have any trouble this time. Let's see. Chuck Silks was good, G. Yeah, like I said, happened. I won. He got duffed. There was my usual cowboy friend. He was there. I actually didn't talk to him much because there was another guy that got on my nerves and like legit like I thought he was gonna square up. He really he stood up to Machiavelli when he was yelling at him. And I was like, "What are you going to do?" legit. I sat in crisscross applesauce after I won because
You said crisscross applesauce.
I did. Listen, Damien, you'll like this. So, Machiavelli was they opened. I was third, and So by this time, he was already tired of my face because I was out there with Max Match. And that's when Noah debuted and super kicked the life out of Bobby, which was amazing. So after I won my match, I sat there, I rolled out the ring, I laughed. I was doing my little cackle laugh I always do. I sat in front of the dude right there on the floor and crisscross applesauce and just stared at him and was laughing at him. Legit was just sitting there laughing. And it was like, I won. I told you. It was amazing. And then I went to my cowboy friend and said, hey, did you miss me? And he goes, don't talk to me. And I walked him out. I said, I'm not going to mess with you today. He did. He was a little sourpuss too. But yeah, that was my time in SCWA this past it was last weekend. So I always have to tell my wonderful stories about there. So yeah. All right, enough about me. Let's move on to our next debate topic. So we was just talking about it earlier. Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. They finally had the steel cage match for the title this past Wednesday night, and boy, was it a fight. Those women beat the living crap out of each other. Of course, knowing typical Britt Baker, it was a bloody mess. It was a bloody mess, and it was really good. But out of it, we have a new AEW Women's Champion, Thunder Rosa. So congratulations to her. So let's talk about it. Britt Baker, okay? She has held the title for a good little while. How do we rank her among her title ring among past women's champions? We'll start with you, Cliff. Then we'll go Mr. Fatal, and then I'll go.
I mean, I don't know if I would say that I would put up their like greatest of all time. Like, it's not that argument. I think I would. It may just sit outside. Like, it may just sit inside top 10, maybe. Just because, like, the way that it was executed and some of the matches that she did have were really good. But, God, I'm thinking, like, Bayley's championship run, right, on SmackDown. And, you know, obviously, yeah, like, Charlotte, like, running around, doing her thing. I would have said Asuka during her NXT days. You know, there's so many other title runs. I mean, Camille right now on NWA being the women's champion, like, you know, locking it down. Deonna Purrazzo currently right now, right, with the AAA title, and even her run with Impact, I would put up on top. So there's a lot. Gail Kim, really, like at Impact.
So how would you rank it as a whole, though?
I mean, if I put like a scale 1 to 10, maybe sitting at like a 6.5. So, like I said, just inside the top 10, probably like number 9. Always put a top 10 together.
Yeah. All right, Damien, what you got?
He did all right. I mean, all right. You're talking about we're going like all together, right? Like all of wrestling, or just
how would you rank it? How would you rank her title run as a whole? We ain't got to rank it as fast.
I mean, I think she's like in the top 10. You're not. I give her a top 10 just because of the new company and what she's done. So, like, it was the best Planned Parenthood women's division championship run.
Okay, here we go. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
No, it was like legitly hands down. It's the most memorable one. Like, I don't remember much of anything.
Absolutely.
I forgot who did she beat for the title?
Cheetah.
Oh, that's bad. How did I forget about that? See what I'm talking about? Yeah. I'm just a little sad it's over already.
The funny thing is that I was low key like that too.
Right.
I was like, well, geez, I was enjoying it. And with that being said, like, so I think we need to give Britt needs to get like all the flowers in the world, because when Britt won the title was a sign of the women's division finally changing. Because and I've said it from day one, and I'll continue to say it, the AEW women's division was lacking. It was lacking. Is it perfect now? No. I'm not saying it was perfect either while Britt was champion. There's still some dry spots, but overall, the women's division now in AEW is a completely different women's division than it was Wednesday Night Wars. Dynamite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's completely different. So, and I think a lot of that, like, Britt really held it down. Britt was putting on banger matches, like every pay-per-view, every week almost. When she was wrestling, Britt was putting on, we said it on the show, fire matches. Britt was always in our top, Britt was in our top 5 all the time of her matches when she was wrestling. So I would rank her, I would give her top 5.
So tall though.
I give her top 5 because of the simple fact is that she also lost to the Thunder Rosa. I think also adds to that, because you got to remember she was the Thunder Rosa didn't beat her. They waited till, because that the unsanctioned match doesn't count on her record,
Right.
so she's never beaten Britt since then. And then Britt, when Britt won the title, and I just think she's the best women's champion they've had. And, not to discredit Thunder Rosa, and just to, knock her down before she gets started. But I think Britt will be, one of the best for a good little while, because Britt held it down. Like they made Britt a star. You know what I'm saying? They made Britt a star. And I think probably the one to take it off of Thunder Rosa should be Jade. But that's, another.
They need to give it back to Britt.
I would see.
See, that's not where I would go.
I wouldn't go back. What would you go back to Britt or go to Jade?
Yeah, I wouldn't go back to Britt. I wouldn't go to Britt.
I don't think they should have took it off her in the first place. If you want to be
honestly, I'm gonna sound so partial when I say this, so impartial, because I'm such a massive fan, but I think you start building up Kiera Hogan. You really start building her up.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
That's my opinion.
Oh, that would be nice.
I think, but I think that's.
Just looking at.
They would probably go Tay Conti before they go Kiera Hogan. So I think they're
Probably.
building Tay Conti up. I think they're building Tay Conti up to be the the second top women's baby face.
They might be,
because they're gonna split Anna Jay up and them up. I see the writing on the wall. Once they paired them up together, I knew what was going. I knew what that they're gonna split them up. Anna Jay's gonna probably be the one to turn on Tay Conti, because everybody loves Tay Conti.
Yeah,
she gets big pops at the on the show.
I just I go around saying an all time though.
But I put Britt up there. Yes,
5.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, top 10 is being generous.
Yeah, I'm just even myself, and I'm I just keep thinking back to that. I'm bruh, nah, I don't know how you put that out there. Oh, he fell out, but
oh geez,
this is but I just don't see how you argue that point in the top 5, because I get it, right? So 2 things that were done when she became champion. One, she was already a star, becoming champion, but then she elevated the women's division in AEW. But that's also not saying a whole lot. Not to be offensive to the women in AEW. It's just they're not presented that way.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, they're not getting all the flowers that they deserve. All right, he's coming back now. All right, but when you look at WWE, right? You look at some of the women that's been
Don't ask what happened.
the E. You have AJ Lee, right? You have Bailey. You have Asuka. You have we've already mentioned Deonna Purrazzo. You could go back and talk about Trish and her run when she was against Lita and Jackie and Jazz and all in China. Like that's 5 right there that I would name. That's like I thought would be more significant than what just Britt was, which is why I'm like Britt sits just inside the top 10.
Mm.
And obviously this wrestling is objective. But,
How about that? right, wrestling.
but we're not
No,
even talking
it
about.
is.
But we're not talking about. And granted, there's also a lot of controversy about her. But Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were great. They were great champions,
Right.
especially Moolah. Like, come on, she had it like for 35 years.
We're not gonna talk about like. I just like we're not gonna mention Mickie James, like in her.
I know, right?
her runs. Like that's why I'm like, I can't justify Britt being a top 5 when all the legendary runs have come before her.
Yeah.
And
I get it.
Bailey,
It's my
Bailey-
recency. It's my recency bias.
and I get
I
that,
see.
but that's why I was like,
My recency bias.
that's a tall order.
I just yeah. I said it from jump that the women's division wouldn't be anything until they put the belt on Britt and let her run with it, and they did it, and it paid off. Like you said, she elevated the women's division. She made the women's division come to her level, and it was good for all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we have. You know what? It's funny because it got dropped in twice. We didn't even talk about Awesome Kong and her run.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Our run in TNA,
Yeah.
that was a monster run.
It was. You're right.
There's so many. That's the thing. It's so many good women world title runs that it kind of sucks for Britt to be like. It's not fair for her to be tossed up in that. Like you said, top 5, top 10 is being generous. Top 20, hands down. Yeah.
Top 15. Top 15. hands
Even
down.
even top 15. Yeah. Even top 15. She could be. She's in there, and not even at 15. We're talking, a little higher up. But yeah, top 5 is a bit ridiculous, sir. I want some of whatever you're on.
Like my recency bias. But all right, moving on.
But it's funny how we can all look at it like, but we like. I gotta be honest though, we ain't even the fact that we brought up all these women, right? And like I brought up Asuka from NXT, but Shayna Baszler had a badass run in
Yes, she
NXT.
did.
Like currently, I would say I'm not gonna put Mandy Rose up there just yet, but I feel like that's climbing up, especially if Cora Jade becomes like a champion. She's
Yep.
gonna elevate it up. Like I just think about all the women from like the NXT era: Sasha, Bailey, I mean Charlotte, like all those names right
Becky.
there. Was just like,
I'd say Becky.
was Becky ever an NXT champion?
No, Becky was not NXT. No, she
She
never
wasn't an NXT champion, but her current run, as when she got the title on SmackDown and Raw,
Well, yeah, Becky 2 belts.
like that right there in general. WrestleMania.
And we discrediting Lita. Like we didn't even talk
Yeah,
about
you can't
Lita.
forget about Lita, Trish Stratus.
Not even talk
I
about Lita's
mean,
run as champion. That's
there's just so much. That's like so many other women that you can pick. Like,
I will say this though, and this is why I say the impact that Britt Baker had on the women's division in AEW definitely tells me like it definitely belongs in the top 10. Like you said it, and I agree with you that AEW women's division wouldn't have been solidified until she got that title because she was the hottest
Exactly.
star. So
she was.
I have to lean with you on that, and that's why I think she breaks into the top 10, but I don't think she's a top 5. I would love to do this just ranking wise of the women's title runs.
That'd be fun.
If you guys want that, send us a whole bunch, hashtag 3Count Podcast, and then put it on Twitter and let us know. We would definitely do a ranking of women's title. We do the top 20
Oh,
women's
that's going
title
to
run.
be an argument.
We should definitely we have 3Count our top 20. Yeah.
I'm down.
No, cool.
Me
We'll
too.
do that. We'll probably do that. We're gonna put it on Patreon and OnlyFans. Make people pay for that.
Right.
He said, "Oh, what?"
We have an
Okay.
OnlyFans page
Yeah.
Oh my.
for OnlyFans.
we have.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
We announced that like months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have not been paying attention.
You must. You were on the show.
Oh wow, I obviously wasn't paying attention.
The fact that and then someone else drops in Alundra Blaze. Yeah. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm thinking
like
of impact wise of like how much the title changed. I'm not gonna play Nikki Bella as much as people would say that she's overrated. She did a lot with that Divas title.
Oh, she did a lot with the women's title.
Michelle McCool. Like,
yeah.
There's some
her and Layla as like dual champion.
Lay Cool.
Like yeah, like that was fun. How he like broke the belt in half.
Yeah.
But think about how big of an impact it was when Beth Phoenix won it though from those two.
Right.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many women that we could talk about, and that just would have that same kind of effect. So I like just sitting on the top 10, and there may be an argument to get her into like 6 or 7, but I don't see anything happening past that.
All right. So here's our last debate topic for today's program: is AEW the place for Jonathan Gresham? So, Mr. Gresham is your current ROH champion. He's been defending the belt at a couple different promotions, being at Impact, GCW. So there have been talks that Tony Khan and Jonathan Gresham have been talking. Apparently, there's rumors that Jonathan Gresham was at a show in February. So, is AEW the best place for Jonathan Gresham? Let's start with you, Damien.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Like, nigga, run.
Damn.
Like, stick to Terminus. I understand you want to be the Ring of Honor World Champion, but I really think Tony gonna fuck that all up. Just on I feel like Jonathan Gresham is going to get lost in the shuffle. Like, God damn it, I forgot his name, and that's horrible. God damn it, that is horrible. Yes, thank you. His tag team partner for his tag team partner. That's horrible. But yes, exactly. See, I forgot his name for a second because we haven't seen him. So it's like 1 minute you see him, 1 minute I don't want the same thing to happen to him. So, nah, it's not. He needs to run. And I'm leaving it at that.
Just gonna put this right there. That's not fair though, because half of WWE's roster came from somewhere else, whether it was the place that Tony bought, ROH, or maybe New Japan or WCW.
Yeah,
so there's most of the rosters right there. Personally, I'm gonna say no, and the reason I say that is because ROH, like as far as like Jonathan goes, he held that Pure Wrestling Championship for so long, like. To me, and I know this isn't going to be right, but that's just where I see him, right? So when I see something like Terminus, I 100% I'm like, yo, that's it right there, because there's not a real place that matches what he can do technically. And although you have someone like Bryan Danielson on the show, right? Bryan Danielson is like, he's kind of the anomaly because he does all like the flips and stuff like that, and he can get over with the crowd very well. And I'm sure Jonathan Gresham could do that. But me personally, I've watched Jonathan just do the pure wrestling stuff. And I love that part of him, the technical side. So I think whether he goes to somewhere like Impact and help elevate the Impact roster, or he just sticks at ROH even under Tony Khan and just continues to develop that brand up, I think that's where I see him. But I don't think it's going to be a good look to have him at AEW, because the fans at AEW, and this is really going to suck to say this, the fans at AEW aren't real. I know I'm going to catch this. They aren't real wrestling fans. They are spot fans. They pop for all the biggest things. Let's be real.
They are. They're fucking spot monkeys.
When they see someone hit a Canadian destroyer, they pop. When they watch dudes get thrown off of ladders, they pop. When they watch two women go into thumbtacks, they pop. Do you see them popping for a wrist lock or a unique way to get into a move? No, you don't see it. And like, I appreciate AEW fans because I love watching them react to certain things. But if anything, if you would have seen a show like Terminus at AEW, it probably would have fell flat because fans would have been like, yeah, this is okay. This is what we share. It's what we share. I think something like New Japan is probably where Jonathan Gresham fits, because it's a wrestling crowd. Like, they appreciate good wrestling exchanges. They understand that side of it. Whereas here, we bigger is better, right? It's what we treat it. Sting, 63 years old. We don't even talk about the rest of the match. We talk about the 63-year-old man going through 3 tables. Like, we don't talk
off
about
the top of a balcony.
Yeah, off the top of a balcony. We don't talk. We didn't talk about the great exchanges that were going on between Hangman Page and Adam Cole on the wrestling side, not the the
crazy
Canadian
spots
destroyers that were
did.
happening.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think AEW fans, and I hate saying that they don't like it. They don't get it, because they probably will. But right now, when I see it, it's just not a good spot for where Gresham is going to be at.
All righty. So, right, is AEW a good place? Listen, is that the place for Jonathan Gresham? No, it's not. Well, on the same reasons that you were saying, Red Dog. Like, it's just his style is not going to mesh with AEW's audience. It's just facts.
No, it's not at all.
They'll
look at
talk with the name, Jonathan Gresham, but like Damien also said, he's just gonna get lost in the shuffle. He needs his thing. If Jonathan Gresham wants to stamp his foot and be like that flag bearer of ROH, what he does is he goes into the new ROH and he stays there, and he be's the cornerstone of that ROH. Whether however Tony Khan runs it or whatnot, if he runs it to the ground, he runs it to the ground. But
he will.
He can be that flag bearer, that cornerstone of that ROH brand. He don't need to be stepping foot in AEW unless he's like that one, like maybe like ROH will come do a joint show with them or something like that. But at the end of the day, ROH and AEW, they have to be separate. Like, regardless. They don't like no like ROH is another brand of AEW and nothing like that. They need to be their own separate thing. It's just Tony Khan owns it. But Jonathan Gresham, the best place for him is ROH. He's the ROH champion for a reason. Because, I mean, they were going to come back regardless. We have to remember, ROH is coming back regardless. And it's Jonathan Gresham is the champion. So they had ideas of going into the, next year already with plans of Jonathan Gresham being that guy. ROH is his home. That's the place he needs to be. Yeah, like Terminus, yes, that's his his promotion. That's fine. New Japan is a good look for him, is a good place for him. But Jonathan Gresham does not need to step any place near AEW on a regular term basis. It's just
I don't think he needs to go there, period.
Oh, well, I mean, of course, they have
don't even soil his feet. Going in, look, them being in the back locker room, that was already painful. Like, he just needs to just leave it alone. Like I don't know. I feel like Planned Parenthood for him is like that girl that you want to fuck with, but you shouldn't, because she got like 6 different baby daddies, and like the hood rat from hell.
Oh my god.
So yeah, nah, that nigga need to run. Yo, if you listening, yo, bro, run.
It's
Run.
funny because the way you describe AEW is like don't be a menace while drinking your juice.
Exactly. It's either that or my baby mama.
Yeah. I really like. I love watching Gresham wrestle, and I think he's a great wrestler.
No,
I
he
just
is.
think
I've enjoyed him from day one.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like looking at the way that he wrestles versus the way that everybody wrestles on AEW. Like, I just don't see it. Like, it could. Shaq could be 100% wrong, and he could like blow it up, and AEW just all of a sudden becomes like a whole new world of wrestling. But I think personally, New Japan Strong, or New Japan itself, like I just feel like that's where he belongs, man. Like that he puts on these classic matches, and people are just like, that's cool. Yay, he had a good wrestling match. I think if you took him to the Tokyo Dome and you had him against Okada,
that's a bad.
Dude, the roof would blow off.
My God,
Like,
we would all wake up at 2:00 in the morning just to watch that match.
Yeah, that's a
hands down, I would.
Over again.
Yeah, I have not stayed up to watch Wrestle Kingdom in a long time, but if that was on Wrestle Kingdom, I'm definitely.
Let me get Okada versus Gresham in the Tokyo.
What Gresham would probably only have maybe 5 good matches in Planned Parenthood, like actual matches that people would pop for. Like maybe 5 people he could wrestle.
And we can name them now. Like we know we can name them.
Yeah, like Brian and Brian would be a classic.
Right.
And people would go nuts for that. Him and Jay Lethal would be really good.
Right.
Him and Cole would be really good.
Lee Moriarty would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be good. Like there's like a few people he can wrestle.
I'm gonna see if you what's your fifth one? Because I have who I would put in. I agree with all those. Who's your last one?
Okay, so now I'm like,
I have mine. I know who I would be.
Then there
right. I know it gets a little shifty. It's like you got.
Yeah, because there could be a couple of more too. Like
yeah.
Who would be my fifth?
Jungle Boy.
That could be good, or O'Reilly or Fish. But see, then again, I don't know because.
But again, that's gonna throw into an old classic. Like that's an old. That's
yeah.
An old match.
Yeah.
Same
yeah.
Thing
So
that's an old match. That's we've seen it.
Right.
Yeah, but still, on that stage though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. On that, we're talking about this is a bigger station where RH is usually
correct.
So this is like a national, almost worldwide basis. So yeah, like I said, there's like a handful of matches that all right, cool. Yeah, I'd like to see, but then after that, the fuck do you have him do? He can't wrestle Orange Cassidy. He can't wrestle like most of the fucking people on that roster because they look fucking stupid.
See, okay, so and you're looking for like a fifth name, right? So we put out there Bryan Danielson, obviously, was like tops. Lee Moriarty is another one that I threw out, right? For me, Hangman is another matchup that I think like Hangman now versus like Hangman back in Ring of Honor when Gresham was there. It's 2 different Hangmen, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. He's
with
definitely gotten a lot better.
Yeah, so I would go with current Hangman. Adam Cole obviously is another matchup that I would love to see get run, right? And then I think another person that would definitely suit it off well, and a lot of you might not agree with me, but Miro.
No, that would be good. I can agree with that one. Actually, I want to see Gresham fuck up Omega.
I would love to see Omega.
I would go to the show and pay money to see that. And I'm talking like prime, front row seat, everything, just to see that.
All right.
Like I want to see him bend him in a pretzel.
You know what? Cash, so Rich brings up a good one, right? He said FTR when puts in question mark, but Cash versus
yeah,
I would definitely do Cash versus
yeah, definitely.
So
any member of FTR actually.
Yeah,
I'd
so
like to
it
see
actually
him.
good,
I
too.
could see him facing MJF.
I would. Oh my god! Now you say that.
That would be interesting.
It would be.
That'd be interesting as fuck.
That would be.
So,
That would be.
like, you could get a good year, maybe 2 years out of him being there, but like, again, we know they're not going to do that. So get lost. Let's just keep it. Let's keep it a stat. He'll end up working with some dumbasses, and they won't connect. He might get one out of all those names that we just said. He'd probably get.
I'd love to see Gresham versus Moxley. Now I'm thinking about
That-
it. Just
that'd
because
be interesting.
it's two clash styles.
Oh yeah,
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I want to think outside the box a lot. I know those are matches I think fans would definitely like appreciate would be those matches. Let me get Moxley. Let me get Kingston. Let me get Lance Archer. Those three guys right there, right? Because they are all just a different style than what Gresham is used to.
he'll
And
have a better match with Kingston out of all three of those.
Right. But let me after that, let me get because I agree with Jungle Boy. I think that's a great pick as well.
Yeah,
But let me get
Darby.
let me get Darby. Let me get Darby. And then let me get just off the top for another match that I want to see this completely different style. Let me get Orange Cassidy. Because I think we're talking no. Hear me out. Because we're talking about clashes of styles that we think might work, right? Think about it before. Jericho versus Jericho and Orange Cassidy wasn't a match that we thought was gonna work out, and it did kind of. Like we popped for it. So I mean I think the thing
except
is
for that
what's
orange
what's funny
bullshit.
about Orange Cassidy,
The
right?
Mimosa Mayhem match.
Yeah.
Both of them. So, but the funny thing about Orange Cassidy, which a lot of people don't remember, is that when he was at Chikara, he was Fire Ant, and he was like running shit. Like he
Well,
can wrestle.
before
he
he
can move.
started this new gimmick, I enjoyed watching. Like I'm not saying the man can't wrestle. I'm not
Right.
saying that. I just don't like the gimmick.
Right. No. And I understand that part. But I think what ends up happening, like during the match, and I just me just like now writing it out,
Right.
is that obviously like Orange Cassidy has his shtick like at the beginning, and then Gresham like starts taking advantage and like really working him. But then you're gonna see that Cassidy's gonna be able to like slowly keep up with him, and everybody's gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't realize that Orange Cassidy can actually wrestle. And I just think the clash of styles would definitely make the match, but
That would make Orange Cassidy a legit player in Planned Parenthood if that something like that would play out like that.
it is crazy. And then actually, so now that we're here talking about Gresham at AEW, we got a question that says in WWE who, and
Ooh.
someone
I don't
put in
think.
Seth
I think he should stay away from there too. But I
Rollins.
mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why I never said it.
They're gonna put him at Level Up.
Like back in NXT old school, then yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Say, like, go.
I want to see Gresham and Gargano. I want to see Gresham and Ciampa. I want to see
Yeah.
Yo,
Like I could go down the
there, man.
Timothy
I can go down that old
Thatcher, yes.
Timothy Thatcher.
Oh, him and Thatcher would be real
Let me
good.
get Keith Lee versus Jonathan Gresham in NXT.
That would be
Black and gold.
yeah.
You know what? Let me
Yeah,
get
all
Gresham,
NXT, yeah.
Gresham and Braun Breaker, because I think that
I'd like to see that.
yeah.
Hold on, man.
I could see
We're
that.
over here just like scripting like matches we want to see.
Facts. That's facts. All right, we gotta get to Cliff's power rankings. We've been ranting.
All right. Yeah, we are.
This one topic got us on a 10-minute rant.
And it's awesome.
It is,
But it was a good one though. That's
This is probably one of our better rants.
true.
This is definitely one of our better tangents. All right, but yeah, it's time for the most awesomest, bestest, greatest, and important segment in all of 3 Count Podcasts. It's time for the Red Dogs highly accredited power rankings.
Yo, that's right. It is the EST of 3CT. 3CP. That's what we're doing. But yo, let's get into. So we're not going to talk about last week's power rankings. I know we didn't have a show. We do have the power rankings, but I'm not even going to front, man. Like the top 6 was all Revolution. I can't even lie. Like I was looking at the power, I was like, I must have really loved this show because I didn't look at a single match.
Revolution wasn't a bad pay-per-view. It wasn't.
No,
No,
it
it wasn't. I hate to admit that it wasn't bad. Damn it.
But I know, like, I did have the triple threat match with Dolph Ziggler, Ciampa, and Braun Breaker at NXT 2.0, right? So I had all of these matchups, and I was like, yeah, but the top 6, like, 7 out of the top 10 were AEW related.
Like it was the card. You basically put the whole shit in the power rank.
The card wasn't bad.
No.
It definitely.
Damn it.
So let's talk about what happened this last week. So we're gonna get into number 10. Number 10 is gonna be the Hardy Boys versus Private Party on Dynamite. It was fun seeing Jeff Beck, with his brother, and they're doing their final tag run, if that's what they call it. We're gonna move into number 9. This is Keith Lee versus Max Caster on Rampage. I love this matchup as well. We're gonna jump into number 8. It was Adam Cole and Red Dragon versus Jungle Express on Dynamite. Let's move into our next match. Number 7 is going to be Damian Priest versus Finn Balor on Raw.
Okay.
I thought this was a solid way to start the show. Let's get into number 6. We are talking about Dolph Ziggler versus L.A. Knight on NXT 2.0. As I like to do on the TikTok side of things. We're going to jump into our number 5 match, and I think this is where things probably going to get skewed up. People are going to ask like left, right, and center. We're going to talk about Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins on Raw.
That was hot.
It was a hot match.
That was hot.
It was a great match. Let's talk about number 4, right? This was Santos Escobar versus Cameron Grimes on NXT 2.0. Once again. Number 3. Let's not fake the funk. Motor City Machine Guns versus Bullet Club on Impact. Yeah.
That was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It was a great match.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I could have picked that as my match. I totally forgot about that.
The only reason wasn't because I was really happy for the Thunder Rosa.
Right. We're going to talk about number 2, which is Josh Alexander versus Matt Taven on Impact as well. Because that was great. It's so good to see Josh Alexander back too. And last but not least, our number 1 match of the week. It was on Dynamite. It was Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. There you have it.
As it should be. As it should be. No, that tag match was fire.
Yeah.
Absolutely fire.
It's like Motor City Machine Guns is so good.
Yeah, they are. They really are. They're one of my favorite tag teams.
Yeah. So that's our show. For those of you who've made it to the end of the show, for my PlayStation friends, you get a trophy. For my Xbox friends, you have just got an achievement. You've made it to the end of another 3 Count podcast episode. Because as I always say, making it through these episodes, you deserve an award. Because I know how long-winded we all can get. So with that being said, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, subscribe to our podcast on all podcast streaming networks, but follow us on social media, Twitter, 3count_pod, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, 3countpod. Go buy a shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/3countpod. It's the number 3, not THREE. So don't you type in THREE. It's the number 3, 3countpod, and go buy yourself a shirt. Okay. Share, like, subscribe, send this to listen. If you know somebody that likes wrestling, okay, send this video to them. Just send it to them, okay? If we just popped up on your feed, and just send it to somebody. Hey, they might like us and you might not. So, hey, help us out. So, with that being said, I'm your boy, your nephew, your cousin, the Don, here with the Red Dog of Red Dogs and the Dog Lord himself, be there for the next episode of the 3 Count Podcast Debate Show. Just be there. Don't you go anywhere else. Don't listen to any other show. You come on back down to old Sally. You just come on down. Come on back down.
It's Sally. All right, Sally.